In Desert and Wilderness, Henryk Sienkiewicz, Chapter 6. Indeed, Messrs. Rawlison and Tarkowski were expecting the children, but not among the sandy hills of Wadi-Rajan, where they had neither need nor wish to go, but in quite another place. At El-Fachen, beside the canal of that name, where they were to inspect the works completed before year-end. The straight-line distance between El-Fachen and Medinet is about 45 kilometers. However, there is no direct route. One must go via El-Wasta, which almost doubles the journey. Mr. Rawlison, consulting the railway timetable, made the following calculations. Chamis left the other evening, he told Mr. Tarkowski. He caught a train at El-Wasta coming from Cairo, so he must be in Medinet this morning. The children will be packed in an hour. If they set out at noon, they'd have to wait for the night train along the Nile. And since I would not let Nel travel at night, they will leave this morning and be here soon after sunset. Quite so, answered Mr. Tarkowski. Chamis needs a little rest, and though Staś is impetuous, one can rely on him where Nel is concerned. Besides, I sent him a card not to travel at night. A brave lad. I trust him completely, said Mr. Rawlison. As do I, Tarkowski replied. Despite his faults, Staś has a righteous character and never lies, for liars are cowards. He has energy too, and if he learns prudence in time, I think he'll manage in the world. Certainly. As for prudence, were you prudent at his age? I must admit I was not, answered Tarkowski with a laugh. But perhaps I was not as self-assured as he. That will pass. Meanwhile, be happy you have such a boy. And you, that you have so sweet and dear a creature as Nel. God bless her, said Mr. Rawlison with feeling. The two friends clasped hands and sat down to examine plans and cost estimates. Thus they worked until evening. At 6 o'clock, when night had fallen, they found themselves on the station platform, still talking of the children. Fine weather, but chilly, remarked Mr. Rawlison. Did Nel take warm clothes? Staś will remember, and Dinah too. I still regret not going to Medinet ourselves. Remember, I advised that, said Tarkowski. I know, and if we were not to go further south from here, I would have agreed. I calculated it would take too long and we'd be with the children for less time. Besides, it was Chamis who suggested bringing them here. He said he missed them terribly and would be happy if I sent for them. I admit, I do not wonder he grew attached to them. Signals announced the train's approach, and soon the locomotive's fiery eyes appeared in the darkness. A string of lit carriages swept along the platform, shuddered, and stopped. I did not see them in any window, said Mr. Rawlison. They may be seated further in and will come out presently. Passengers began alighting, mostly Arabs, for besides its lovely groves of palms and acacias, El-Fachen had little to attract sightseers. The children had not arrived. Perhaps Chamis missed the train at El-Wasta, said Mr. Tarkowski, voice souring. Or after the night journey he overslept and they'll come tomorrow. Maybe, answered Mr. Rawlison anxiously. Or perhaps one of them fell ill. Then Staś would have telegraphed. Who knows whether we might not find a wire at the hotel? Let us go. At the hotel no message awaited them. Mr. Rawlison grew more uneasy. Do you know what else might have happened? Asked Tarkowski. If Chamis overslept, perhaps he did not tell the children, and only came today to inform them they were to leave tomorrow. He might try to excuse himself by claiming he misunderstood our orders. I'll telegraph Staś just in case, and I'll telegraph the Mudir of Fayum. 2 dispatches were sent. There was as yet no ground for alarm, but waiting for replies made the engineers spend a sleepless night. Early morning found them already active. The Mudir's answer arrived about 10 o'clock. Checked at the station. The children left yesterday for Garak el-Sultani. Understandably, astonishment and rage seized the fathers at this sudden news. For a while, they looked at one another as if not comprehending the telegram. Then Tarkowski, quick-tempered, struck the table and cried, "It was Sta's idea. I'll teach him such tricks." "I did not expect that of him," Mr. Rawlison muttered. Then he asked, "And Chamis?" "Either he failed to find them and doesn't know what to do, or he followed them. So I think." Within an hour they had set out for Medinet. There they learned in the tents that none of the camel drivers remained, and at the station it was confirmed that Chamis had departed with the children to El-Gharaq. Matters grew darker. Clarity could come only from El-Gharaq. At that station the terrible truth began to unfold. The station master, the same sleepy Egyptian in dark glasses and a red fez, told them he had seen a boy of about 14, a girl of 8, and an elderly black woman who had left for the desert. He could not recall whether there were 8 or 9 camels, but remembered one heavily laden for a long journey, and 2 Bedouin camel drivers with large packs. He also recalled a Sudanese saying these were the English children who earlier went to Wadi-Rajan. "Did those Englishmen return?" asked Tarkowski. "Yes," replied the station master. "They returned yesterday with 2 wolves killed, which surprised me that they did not go with the children. I did not ask why. It is not my place." He then walked away. Mr. Rawlison's face had gone as white as paper. He removed his hat, raised his hand to his damp brow, and staggered as if about to collapse. "Be a man, Rawlison," cried Tarkowski. "Our children have been taken. We must rescue them." "Nel, Nel," the wretched Englishman repeated. "Nel and Staś. This is not Sta's fault. They were lured away and abducted. Who knows? Perhaps for ransom. Chamis is doubtless involved. Idris and Geba too." He recalled Fatma's words, that both Sudanese belonged to the Dangle clan from which the Mahdi sprang, and that Khadija, Chamis's father, came of the same stock. At that thought his heart sank. He realized the children might not have been seized for ransom, but to be handed over to Smain. What would their kinsmen do with them? They could not hide long on the desert. Death from thirst and hunger would follow. Nor could they stay by the Nile without being seized. They would likely flee with the children to the Mahdi. The thought filled Tarkowski with horror, yet the ex-soldier quickly rallied and ran through the facts, seeking means of rescue. "Fatma had no reason to take revenge on us or the children," he reasoned aloud. "So if they were abducted, it was to deliver them to Smain. In that case they are not in immediate danger of death, a small comfort, but they face a terrible road that may prove fatal." He shared this with his friend and continued, "Idris and Geba, being savage and foolish, imagine Mahdi's hordes are near. Yet Khartoum, where Mahdi stands, lies some 2,000 kilometers away. They must keep to the Nile. Otherwise men and camels would perish of thirst. Go at once to Cairo and demand that the Khedive send dispatches to all military posts and organize pursuit along the river. Promise large rewards to coastal sheiks who capture the fugitives. Stop at villages and detain anyone coming for water. Thus Idris and Geba must fall into authorities' hands, and we shall recover the children." Mr. Rawlison regained his calm. "I'm going," he said. "Those villains forgot that Wolseley's English army is on the way to help Gordon, and will cut them off from the Mahdi. They cannot escape. I will send a dispatch to our minister and then go." "What will you do?" "I'll telegraph for leave and without waiting for a reply, follow them by Nile to Nubia to oversee the pursuit. Then we shall meet, for I shall do the same from Cairo." "All right, to work." "With God's help," answered Rawlison. End of chapter 6.